I'm Fox 4 meteorologist Andrew Shipley, and behind me is the West Weir here on Sanibel, one of two weir systems on the island. And this controls stormwater runoff, not storm surge. I got a look from the city just how the weir system works and how they're planning for future storms.
We know that our residents are concerned about the amount of water that's come on the island.
It's fair to say the city of Sanibel has seen its fair share of water this year, whether it's the nearly 70 inches of rainfall or the three different storm surge events from Debbie, Helene, and Milton.
And so there's been questions about the city's weir management and whether or not we are proactively or properly releasing water.
I visited the West Weir with city manager Dana Sousa and other city staff to not only see how the system works, but also to address those concerns.
We get the good forecast from your station, and we watch the National Weather Service very closely so we can anticipate the rainfall that we have and increase the capacity.
But increasing capacity can also be a balancing act as well.
Certainly a unique way, unique stormwater management system in that we do really have to balance sort of the flood protection aspects that it provides, as well as our goals as a sanctuary island.
And of those goals, for Natural Resource Director Holly Milbrand, is making sure that the wetlands have enough water as well.
The benefits of having water in this interior wetland system in terms of fire protection, again, to have water for wildlife, and to really keep salt water from intruding into our freshwater areas through movement in groundwater.
As we move into the future, one thing the city will have to combat is sea level rise. According to SECF, sea levels have risen 8 inches around the island since 1965.
When you look at it as a whole, you might not think that's a lot, but when you look at it from a stormwater management perspective, you've got all of that seawater that is now higher than it was, several decades ago. It's holding back on that stormwater.
And that means it could take even longer for the island to drain, especially given the average elevation of 4.5 feet. As city engineer Oshin Dolly describes, the weirs work by using the tides, which also plays a factor.
So as sea level, rises over time, the tides are going to be generally higher, which is going to restrict and shorten those periods of time that we can open the gates.
And as for storm surge, these weir systems aren't meant to drain that kind of water.
While we did lower levels as much as we could before those storm surge events, it really doesn't matter much, because once the surge inundated this system at the severity that it did, it filled up the entire basin of our system in a matter of minutes.
But that doesn't mean the city isn't working to get better at getting water off the island and becoming more sustainable.
Next year, there will be a lot of public meetings and a lot of discussion about how do we make Sanibel more resilient for the next 50 years, and what projects do we need to undertake to accomplish that.
On Sanibel, meteorologist Andrew Shipley, Fox 4.